かもしれません。Hi everyone, Takashi here. 今日はかもしれませんを一緒に勉強しましょう。かもしれません is used to express possibility or uncertainty. In English, it's often translated as might, maybe, or perhaps. How to use it? It attaches to the plain form of verbs, adjectives, and nouns. But be careful. For the affirmative non-past form of not adjectives and nouns, you need to drop the da before adding かもしれません. So, 好きだかもしれません is wrong. It should be 好きかもしれません. It'll rain tomorrow. 明日は雨が降ります。明日は雨が降るかもしれません。It might rain tomorrow. When you use かもしれません, you're basically saying there's a possibility that this is true. So compared to expressions like でしょう, which we learned in the last lesson, or と思います. Compared to these, かもしれません shows a lower level of certainty. By the way, as I mentioned earlier, でしょう can be used in daily conversation, but it's not that common, and it only sounds natural in specific contexts. So, と思います is usually the more common or safer choice. But anyway, basically, when the possibility is low, you want to use かもしれません. When the possibility is high, you want to use と思います. That said, even when the possibility is high, we sometimes still use かもしれません to soften what we're saying or to avoid sounding too direct. For example, when we have to turn down something, we often say, ちょっと難しいかもしれません. Oh, it might be difficult. This way it sounds softer and less direct. I mean, it's basically the same as the word might in English. You can use might to make your statement sound softer and less direct, right? So yeah, it's the same thing. じゃあもう少し練習しましょう. Let's practice a little more. I will not make it to the meeting. 会議に間に合いません。会議に間に合わないかもしれません。I might not make it to the meeting. 会議に間に合わないかもしれません。I already told you this story. Or literally, I already did this story. もうこの話をしました。もうこの話をしたかもしれません。I might have already told you this story. もうこの話をしたかもしれません。Now let's do e-adjectives. Because it's Sunday, there are a lot of people. Or literally, because it's Sunday, people are many. 日曜日だから人が多いです。To make an e-adjective plain form, just drop the です。日曜日だから人が多いかもしれません。Because it's Sunday, there might be a lot of people. 日曜日だから人が多いかもしれません。Now let's do not adjectives and nouns. Let's say you're coordinating a schedule with someone and you say, oh, tomorrow is impossible. 明日は無理です。明日は無理だ。明日は無理かもしれません。Tomorrow might be impossible. 明日は無理かもしれません。This is not my umbrella. これは私の傘じゃないです。これは私の傘じゃないかもしれません。This might not be my umbrella. これは私の傘じゃないかもしれません。かもしれません is the polite form, and the plain form is かもしれない。明日は雨が降るかもしれません。If you want to speak casually, it will be 明日は雨が降るかもしれない。明日は雨が降るかもしれないね。 In casual conversation, people also very often not say this 知れない and just say かも。明日は雨が降るかも。明日雨が降るかも。However, when another word like から or けど comes right after it, you're supposed to keep the 知れない。For example, 雨が降るかもしれないから車で行こう。It might rain tomorrow, so let's go by car. 雨が降るかもしれないけど海に行かない Even though it might rain tomorrow, wanna go to the beach? That said, these days you'll also hear people say かもだから or かもだけど明日は雨が降るかもだから車で行こう。明日は雨が降るかもだけど海に行かない This is still technically incorrect, but they're becoming more common in really casual conversation, especially among young people. Another thing, かもしれない is often used together with もしかしたら。もしかしたら雨が降るかもしれません。The meaning doesn't really change, but adding もしかしたら makes the possibility feel slightly lower. It emphasizes uncertainty. もしかすると is also sometimes used instead of もしかしたら。もしかすると雨が降るかもしれません。And I also want to briefly talk about 多分, because this one is also really common in conversation. 多分 and かもしれません are very similar. I almost use them interchangeably, but 多分 usually shows a little higher possibility than かもしれません. How to use 多分 is super easy. We can put 多分 anywhere in a sentence, but most commonly it goes at the beginning of the sentence. 多分雨が降ります. But you can also put it in the middle of the sentence. 雨が多分降ります. And in casual conversation, you can even put it at the end. 雨が降ります、多分. And the base sentence can be in any form, polite or plain. So it's really easy, right? Alright, that's all. 今日は以上です。今日もありがとうございました。じゃあまた次のビデオで会いましょう。じゃあまたね。バイバイ。